What's up, party people, and welcome to episode 94 of Life Unmedicated. Thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. It's a little warm. I don't know why my air conditioner's not turning on, but at this point, I'm gonna just have to be a little warm. All right, so let me first apologize. I know that it is late. Did I think I skipped 2 weeks. 1 week technically because I had already said that I probably wasn't going to do this on vacation because yeah, it's vacation. And then last week I was just really trying to get back in the groove of things, and then we had that terrible, terrible, terrible news on Wednesday, and then so yeah, I wasn't able to power through that. But um, you know, it's a new week and I'm a little late, but better late than never. That's what they say. So, yeah, we are here and we are moving forward, onward and upward. So, let's see. As for the goals that I made for the week before I left for vacation, I was able to meet those goals. I was consistent with my modified routine. Um, I packed my bag, obviously, had to, cleaned my house, and I had lots of fun responsibly. I think responsibly is a good way to say it. I don't think I did anything that I didn't want to do. I did drink more than I wanted to, but it's vacation. Like whatever. Um but aside from that, yeah, I didn't have any like mishaps or anything negative. Actually, like everything was positive. It was an amazing, amazing, amazing vacation. Probably the best vacation I've ever had, and I don't know, it was just very I love going to the islands. I really, really do. And I think all of my island vacations have been like my favorites. But this one tops them all. I think it's because it was a family trip. Um, I don't know if I like was super specific, but I was going with my cousin for her birthday, and my aunt came as well. And that side of my family is from that island, St. Kitts and Nevis. So it was just really nice to go with family and to like touch down, like home base. You know what I mean? Like none of us have been there before. Um, but it was really beautiful to see like where my family is from and to meet the locals and to dig my feet in the sand and to wade in literally wade in the water. There are so many things about that island that I don't know if, like that I have in common with. Like there's so many things that I'm like, oh, these are my people. This is my island. Like this is this where I get this from? Is this where I get this from? Like it's very interesting because it's like I have a lot of jokes about it, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, is that where I get it from? Who knows? It could just be a coincidence, but in my mind, I like to think that that's where I got it from because I'm just sentimental like that. But anyway, amazing vacation. 10 out of 10 recommend. So beautiful. Oh my gosh. It took maybe a couple days to get used to the humidity, but you know, we built for that. So it's fine. Um okay, so moving right and left along. I got all my goals accomplished for that week. Um and this week really the goals that I have are to oh gosh, I really would like to set the goal. Okay, I'm going to be realistic. So I have a big goal of, I feel like I skipped something. No, sorry. I'm a little like, I'm a little disorganized in my head today because I don't know. I guess I'm not, this is like the middle of my work day and I'm like, I have a break because I had a session that got canceled, but I really kind of threw myself into this before I really thought about things, but I had them written down. But anyway, so we're gonna do the best of what we got. Okay. Um, what was I saying though? I have a big goal of redoing my freaking licensure application because I sent it in weeks ago, actually over a month ago, and I don't know. I guess I got confused, but also the wording in the application packet was very strange. Like I went through that application packet with a fine tooth comb, and yeah, so apparently there's some things that I need to add to it, and so they sent it back to me, but I never got it. So now I have to redo the entire application along with the thing I forgot, which was the I didn't forget it. The application said that if I previously held a license here, I didn't have to do it, but they told me that I do have to do it, even though it said that I didn't have to do it. So anyway, I have to redo the application and get my continuing education credits, which I already have most of them. I just have to figure out which ones I don't have. But that's a whole thing in and of itself. So I'm going to have to break that goal down into smaller goals. So I would say my goal for this week is to determine which CEUs I need and to if it's not too much, complete the CEUs, complete CEUs slash schedule completion of CEUs. That's probably gonna be all that I can do work wise, or outside of work. Um, in the other areas of my life, my goal will always be to eat well. And I actually really need to decide what my workout routine is going to be now. The one I had before I left was intense and it's not sustainable. It was just like I want to see, what I can give in 30 days. And well, actually it was more like 6 weeks, but what I can do in, 40 days and how far it can take me, and it took me pretty far, but it's not sustainable. So I know that I'm keeping my 10,000 steps a day. I know that I'm keeping stretching on Tuesdays. I know that I'm keeping my eating habits the same as they were. But I would like to add in, I'm going to go from 5 days, where I was really doing like 5 or 6 days of working out, down to 4, because that's more realistic for me. And I kind of want to go back to doing HIIT workouts, but also Pilates was giving what it was supposed to have gave. So I may just continue with Pilates, but I used to dread doing that workout. So, but it was only 25 minutes. So it's like not that big of a deal. But I am in a place right now where I want to achieve my goals, but I have to, it's almost like a toddler. Like I want to get this done, but I have to do it in ways that are palatable for me right now. And right now is really a time where I wouldn't say I'm feeling depressed, but I do feel my mood is low. Like it's really hard for me to get out of bed in the morning. And once I get off work, I don't feel like doing anything. And if I can muster up the energy in the day, I can get stuff done. But that's been really hard. So I'm kind of running out of steam. And this happens every year, unfortunately. This is around the time where I'm high functioning depressed, and then December hits and it becomes low functioning. So I really want to make sure that I am maintaining my routine right now, so that when December hits, I can at least stay at high functioning, because low functioning depression will take me out the game. I mean, I'm not going to die. I don't want, let me not, let me make my words clear. I'm not going to kill myself or die, but um, I just don't have time to not be able to like do the things I need to do. Right now is a very pivotal time for me. And so being in a place where I cannot operate is just, it's almost like it's not even almost, it's just not an option. So yeah, so I'm trying to, all that to say, I'm trying to keep my routine down pat. But what that means for me at this point in time is making a realistic routine that I not only will be able to adhere to, but will also be sufficient in encompassing the things I know I need to do in order to stay above board, above water, whatever, however you want to say it. So yeah, I think that not I think, but my other goal will be developing a routine I can commit to, because it's not just the development of the routine, right? I have to develop a routine that I'm, and then I also have to commit to it. I have to decide and commit to following that routine, and then I have to do it. And this is a time where a lot of my vices are like kicking me in the throat. Like I want to do things that I have said that I was not going to do, like drink more often when I already said that I don't want to drink at all, like maybe once a month. But like it's such a big difference between how I feel when I'm not drinking and like I drank last weekend and it took me like 2 days to recover. I wasn't hungover, but emotionally I just felt drained. Like I don't know. It's very weird and it's very odd because like I'm a drinker or I have been in the past. So it almost feels like a breakup. Like I'm mourning a relationship with alcohol. That sounds crazy, but it's kind of how I feel. Like it's an adjustment. It's a huge adjustment. So yeah, I mean, it's not like I was drinking every day or anything, but even drinking on the weekends, it's just not. It's not. It's even drinking on the weekends is too often because I'm still having to like recover on Monday when I really have things I need to be doing on Monday, and then it pushes into Tuesday when I don't feel like getting up on time. So it's like, okay, I could drink on Friday, I guess, but I'm in a place where I want to do things on Saturdays and Sundays too. Like I take a day off to relax, but also alcohol is really just poison. And I've known this for a very long time, and I'm sure everyone else knows it too. But I do really feel different when I drink. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud at this point. I'm sorry. But yeah, so those are my goals: determining which CEUs I need to complete, completing them, or at least scheduling the completion of them, eating well, and developing a routine I can commit to. So yeah, there that goes. So it's been like, I don't know, maybe 10 or so minutes. Today we're supposed to go over the diligence checklist and also diligence and ADHD. But I actually have to go grab that book. So I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. All right. So, oops, sorry. This I think I told you about this book before. This is The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, King Solomon's Secrets to Success, Wealth, and Happiness by Stephen K. Scott. And it's a really good read. I'm gonna read it over and over, honestly. But anyway, so um, here, are you diligent in your job, your marriage, your parenting, your career? Use this checklist to measure your level of diligence in any important area of your life. This checklist will help you determine when and where you're lacking in diligence. The skills you're going to learn in the next two chapters will help you to bring diligence to any endeavor you pursue. So, the checklist. There are 10 things. The first one, I'm sorry if y'all can hear that. My window's open because it's hot. Do you, one, have a clear and precise vision for what you want to achieve? Do you have, nope. Do you creatively persist through disappointments and failures? Do you work smart? Do you rightly plan? Do you rightly perform? Do you work expeditiously with target dates? Do you work efficiently? Do you work effectively, achieving effective results? Do you produce a result that reflects a quality outcome? And do you attain true excellence? So, this was really eye opening for me in terms of like what even diligence is, because, in my mind, I'm a diligent person. And I don't feel like I'm not diligent, but I do feel like my definition of diligence was different than his, which his was diligence is a learnable skill that combines creative persistence, a smart working effort, rightly planned and rightly performed in a timely, efficient, and effective manner to attain a result that is pure and of the highest quality of excellence. So, creative persistence, smart working effort. rightly planned, rightly performed in a timely, efficient, and effective manner to attain a result that is pure and of the highest quality of excellence. I thought that was interesting because for me, I always thought diligence was just like working hard, right? Which is very, that's a very broad spectrum. Like working hard is very subjective. But this definition specifies a lot more of what one needs to be engaged in order to consider themselves diligent, right? And and so I wanted to talk about diligence and ADHD because there's a lot about ADHD that may not, that like does but also doesn't work with the with some or with this definition of diligence, which after reading the chapter I do agree that like this is, you know, accurate. um but as far as ADHD goes, there are a lot of ways that, like, okay, so say we were getting into like a hyper focus mode, right? Like that would go with diligence. Like it's a creative persistence that goes hand in hand with ADHD. But also, it doesn't, because there are certain times when I cannot get the neurons in my brain to fire and I cannot make myself do certain things. So if I'm wanting to be the part about ADHD that may not necessarily go hand in hand with diligence is the consistency part. Like we have all these things: creative persistence, smart working effort. We plan, we perform. It may not be timely, but we are efficient and we're effective. And we usually attain a result that is of, I mean, I don't know, I can't say like it's the highest, most or most high quality of excellence, but it's a pretty high quality of excellence. At least I can speak for myself when I say that. I never turned in half-ass anything. So, ooh, I don't do that now. I'll say that. So we have these things in their separate, right, in their individual package. But when you put it all together and then combine that with consistency, that's where it becomes difficult for someone with, like me, with ADHD or any neurodivergent diagnosis, honestly, because we can lack consistency across the board. There is a lack of focus sometimes, there is a lack of desire, there's a lack of motivation. So I may feel motivated last week, I might have felt motivated, and then this week came and now I'm not. And so how does one with this particular issue maintain diligence and be able to effectively work towards our goals when we lack in the, I would say, the most important aspect of diligence, which is consistency? Like how do you do that, right? So I think that for me, a lot of what I do is I try to make my goals realistic. There may be times when I'm more productive than, there may be times when I'm, there may be times when I am more productive than I am other times, and that's okay. But I think the first step is knowing that about yourself and kind of getting to know yourself to the point where you can say, you know what, I feel like this is going to be a slow week, or I'm feeling depressed and I feel like I'm not, you know, I'm feeling like low functioning, or I'm feeling high functioning so I can get these things done, or I feel like I can't function at all. So let me kind of muster up the bare bottom minimum that I need to do to feel like I accomplished something, because we have to maintain our commitment to ourselves, right? I think that that is really important in the game of diligence and consistency and like self-image and confidence and all that good stuff. We have to be able to show up for ourselves and we have to take care of ourselves. And you know, I use two what metaphors, analogies, um when I'm with, when I'm talking either to myself or to someone else. I say, like, you either have to take care of yourself as if you're a child, you know, like what would little such and such need right now? Like and not in the moment, but for the greater good. You have to look at big, you have to use big picture thinking, like, yeah, that may feel good right now, but how am I going to feel about it tomorrow? Yeah, I may want this right now, immediate gratification, woohoo, but is that what I'm working towards? Like when I look at, you know, the second one is like using your future self. So when I look at my future self, is that something that my future self would be doing? Is that something that's going to help me work toward becoming my future self? That is a lot of the those are, that is a lot along the lines of what I think to myself when I'm having a hard time self motivating. But I want to make it very clear that this is not a perfect system. So it's not that it's going to work every single time, but I think it works most times to the point where like I no longer feel like bad about myself and I'm not as mean to myself as I used to be. So, you know, it's working. Every, you know, progress is a process. So you just have to be diligent and consistent and, you know, figuring out what you want is probably the hardest part. But once you do that, space on my camera, sorry. So what was I saying? Yeah, once you figure out what you want to do, then that's when, you know, you can like go down your diligence checklist, make your roadmap to, is it even called a roadmap? I forgot what it's called. It's like a some type of map to excellence, basically. But you know that was the main thing that I wanted to talk about is the consistency. I'm sorry it took me like 12 years to get there. My brain is just kind of all over the place today, but I wanted to still get this done because I feel like the, you know, I just if I don't do it, I'm not. It's not gonna get done. So I just wanted to do it this week so I can pick back up on time next week because we've seen it before where, you know, 1 week turns into 2 weeks and 2 weeks turns into 4 months. So I don't want that to happen again. I want to be more consistent. So yeah, um, hopefully someone got something out of that. I may or may not re-record this. It depends on how I'm feeling when I watch through it. Although I don't usually watch through like the whole thing because I do tend to get a little what's the word I'm looking for? Critical of myself. So we'll see. I'll watch like the first few minutes and if I don't hate it, I'll post it. But anyway, thank y'all so much for, you know, staying tuned and watching my videos. I appreciate you, and I'm hoping that it helps someone. If I could just help one person, that'd be awesome. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you next week for episode 95. Bye.